increasing and decreasing functions should be a very straightforward topic, but it's one that students often get themselves in a bit of a muddle about. So let's make sure we understand what we mean and what methods we need to apply to our increasing and decreasing functions. We're going to try and find the range of values for which our cubic equation here, 3x cubed minus 12x squared minus 9x plus 5, is decreasing. So when we talk about decreasing or increasing functions, we just mean the gradient. That is the important bit, okay? So when we're talking about gradient and we have our original equation, that means we need to differentiate. So we're going to differentiate our cubic here, so that's nice and simple. So we apply our normal rule of differentiation, so multiply by the power, take one off the power. So here we're going to get 9x squared minus 24x, and then minus 9. And our 5 disappears, but we all know that, so that's fine. So now we're going to say that our dy by dx, 9x squared minus 24x minus 9, if we want this to be decreasing, okay, I want it to be decreasing, I just need my gradient to be negative. That's it. That's all it is. It's nothing to do with my second derivative. This is where students get themselves in all sorts of trouble. They start differentiating again. I just want this gradient to be negative. That's it. So if I say I want 9x squared minus 24x minus 9 to be less than 0, we say, okay, what's that going to do? I can divide everything by 3, make my quadratic a little bit easier. So I get 3x squared minus 8x minus 3 is less than 0. You can put that in your calculator if you want, but it does factorize, so it's not too bad. So if we put our 3x in here and our x in here, we're going to put a minus 3, so that gets us a minus 9x, and then a plus 1, and then makes the minus 8x and the minus 3. So there's my factorized version. Now, this is solving a quadratic inequality. You need a little bit of a recap on that. Remember to check out our other YouTube videos. Make sure that you're all hot on solving your inequalities. So I need my critical values here. So I've got minus a third and 3. I'm going to do my sketch of my quadratic. So it was a positive quadratic like we would always want, and like I said I would always do, which means it's a U shape. So we're going to fill in our U shape here. We put in minus a third and 3 the right way around. And now we want the part where it's less than 0. So less than 0 means we're talking about below the axis. So we're talking about this bit in the middle here. So there's the bit we're interested in. So if we go with the method that I showed you before, underneath the bit we've shaded, we write our variable. So this is our x in this case. I copy my critical values directly down. So make sure that looks like a 3. And then I fill in my inequalities all pointing to the left. There we go. There's my inequality solved. That is my range of values for which this cubic is decreasing. Now, just to kind of link it, it should make sense. But if you think about a positive cubic graph, we know that there would be a section between the two turning points when our gradient's negative. That's what we're talking about. This is where it's decreasing because it's downward sloping. It's just about the gradient. No second derivative required. Don't be that student. So second one, we're going to flip it round a little bit. So now we're going to say that given that y equals 24 over root x plus kx is increasing for x is greater than 4, we're going to try and find out what our possible values of k would be. So exactly the same idea. Let's make sure our root x looks definitely like a root x, and that's like a 5. Penmanship's on my list of CPD. So same idea, we still need to differentiate, but again, I've got the problem like we would normally have with differentiation that I need to rewrite this first of all. So y equals 24 x to the power of minus a half plus kx. Remember, I haven't differentiated yet, so it still says y equals. Now that's ready to differentiate, so I can say dy by dx equals, multiply by the power gets me minus 12 x to the power of minus 3 over 2. I take one off, and then I get plus k. Okay. So there's my differentiated function. So now we're saying we want that to be increasing. So I want it to be increasing, so my gradient needs to be positive. That's it. That's all it is. No second derivative, just gradient positive. So I know minus 12 x to the minus 3 over 2 plus k needs to be greater than 0. But that's only going to be true when x is greater than 4. So if we take the limiting case and say x equals 4, and use that one, so I do x equals 4 here, I've got minus 12, 4 to the power of minus 3 over 2, plus k, and I'm saying that has to be greater than 0. Now we can solve that as just a regular inequality. So 4 to the minus 3 over 2, if I root it and then cube it, would get me an 8, and then it's 1 over that. So we get minus 12 over 8 plus k has to be greater than 0. And then if we carry on up here, I can now take that across the other side and say k has to be greater than 12 over 8, which obviously can be simplified into 3 over 2. So as long as my value for k is bigger than 3 over 2, that means my function will be increasing for the values of x greater than 4. Okay, so there's our increasing, decreasing functions. No second derivative in sight. It is not required. It is only based on our gradient function or first derivative. So make sure it's not you that's doing that second derivative stuff on your exam paper. Hit that like button if you found that helpful, and make sure you subscribe for more help with your A-level maths.